Imagine this: relentless rain causing flash floods in cities, prolonged droughts devastating agricultural regions, and extreme weather events becoming increasingly common worldwide. This could well become more prevalent if we don't tackle climate change. To fight climate change, we need to cut down on greenhouse gas emissions and switch to cleaner, renewable energy sources. But in Singapore, most renewable options simply aren't feasible. For example, we don't have the strong winds needed to make commercial wind turbines work, and without fast-flowing rivers, hydroelectric power isn't an option either to produce clean energy. Solar energy is the most promising, but even this has its limits. With frequent cloud cover and not much land to spare, we can't rely on solar power as our main source of energy. In fact, even if Singapore maximizes its solar potential by 2050, it's only expected to cover less than 10% of the electricity we'll need. Despite being alternative energy disadvantaged, Singapore still has to prepare for a low-carbon future. To do this, Singapore employs a strategy that hinges on a triple transition. First, the carbon transition aims to reduce carbon emissions to net zero across all sectors, such as transport and industry. The goal is to cut down emissions by finding cleaner, more efficient ways to produce and operate. Next, energy transition aims to create a resilient, net zero electricity grid. The goal is to ensure Singapore has access to energy supply that is clean, reliable, and cost competitive. And lastly, the economic transition is needed for Singapore to stay competitive in a low-carbon world and resilient against the effects of climate change. This is so that our businesses can continue to thrive and our people continue to have good jobs. We need to help businesses restructure to reduce their emissions and help them capture new growth opportunities in areas such as green finance and low-carbon technologies. At the same time, Singapore is taking proactive measures to adapt to the effects of climate change. One such measure is to protect our coastlines from rising sea levels. We are developing tailored coastal adaptation options for each segment of the coastline, such as seawalls and tidal gates. We have embarked on site-specific studies at City East Coast, North West Coast, and Jurong Island. We are also finding ways to keep Singapore cool due to rising temperatures, such as by orientating blocks to optimize wind flow and improve thermal comfort. The use of greenery on and around buildings also helps to reduce heat absorbed by urban areas, lowering temperatures in densely built-up areas for greater thermal comfort. At the same time, this decreases the need for air conditioning, reducing energy consumption and greenhouse gas emissions. Climate change is no longer a future threat, but a reality today, and it's only going to intensify if we don't take immediate action. There is a fourth transition that is equally important in Singapore's fight against climate change. That is the transition of our people's mindset. From viewing decarbonisation as a cost and a hassle, to seeing it as an investment in our future. Singaporeans can all play our part by doing simple things, like taking public transport, walking, or cycling instead of taking cars, switching to more energy-efficient appliances and reducing waste. Simple actions can go a long way in our fight against climate change. Each one of us can make a difference, and together we can create real, lasting change.